Dames en heren, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video on how to produce a good bibliography. My name is Schroevers for the Cross-Cultural Business Skills elective course. You are watching this video because you are preparing for your final draft and want to make sure that everything is tip-top, or you have been invited after feedback that the bibliography needs improvement. Thank you for watching. Why is it important that we make this video? You have to realize we are making a book, and so after the final draft we are getting into the production stage of the book production, and then every minute is precious. And to be honest, in past semesters I lost a lot of time that I really needed fixing silly errors in bibliographies, and to prevent that we really warmly invite you to work according to the guidelines that I'll be explaining to you now.
Issue number 1. Haven't used the A5 template styles in Microsoft Word. This is a big problem. They make it look like the real book by copying the font type and the exact size, and the page looks like ready for the book. And the problem is they do that by using tabs, or even worse, manually spaces, and it's so much work for me to clean that all up while I have a huge deadline to finish the book. Please make sure that one team member checks if the bibliography is actually made using the styles of the A5 template and nothing else, please.
A URL is the internet address that you sometimes provide in the bibliography, but they can be way too long. And that's because of session IDs or tracking parameters or institutional logins, personal accounts, and all that info is stored in that endless long URL. We don't want that. Now here you see an example of Google Books. This is spaghetti, and we don't want that. Let me give you two examples and also show how we can repair that. The first one, we see a lot of internal website navigation information in the URL that we don't need, and that's anything after view, and we don't want that. Luckily, the new APA recommends you to simplify the internet address to just the essential structure. Second example, tracking info. Just trim it to the core URL. In many bibliographies we still find in the final draft blue hyperlinked URLs, and that is problematic because then the printers will say that they don't want that. All you need to do is stand with your mouse in the link and right mouse click or command click and choose remove link. Issue number 3. Retrieved from is old-fashioned. You don't use that anymore. A DOI or an internet address or URL suffices. The only situation where you would use retrieve from if the source frequently changes its information. But in the case of CPs, that's hardly the case. Issue number 4. Check your italics. When you use an APA citation generator like this one of Schroevers and you paste that into your bibliography, we often see that people just paste that as flat text, but then you lose the very important necessary italics that indicate, for instance, a journal. Now the fix here is that when you paste it, you click on the arrow and you choose Keep Source Formatting. Issue number 5. What do you actually put in your bibliography? Here you can think of the use of non-academic sources like CIA or BBC, and when a professional sees this, it just lacks credibility. And we don't want that. We often see that sources stay in the bibliography although they're no longer being used in the CP sections. Everything that you use as an in-text citation must be in the bibliography and vice versa. So if you're not referring to it in your CP, out. And then the last issue, non-Latin characters. The way we work is that we have one single integrated alphabetical list. We ask you to also auto-arrange entries alphabetical, but mind you, it only works on the desktop Word version, not in the 365 web version. Now, in the ideal situation, this is what it would look like. So you will transliterate the non-Latin scripts. What we've done is that, in this case, the Arabic and the Chinese is between brackets. And I do that because if people search on an Arabic or a Chinese keyboard, they can still also find our book. Two examples, Arabic names and Chinese names. Arabic often uses a prefix before the surname, so it would be El, this or that, or Al, or Ibn Khaldun. And what we actually have is that we do transliterate this part of the surname, but we do not use it for primary sorting criteria, because otherwise everybody with an Arabic name would be under the Al or the L, and that's not the case. So just a little bit like with the Dutch Van den Broeke, which you would position under the B and not under the V. It's similar in the Arabic names. Chinese names, we use the standard transliteration, which is pinyin. There are some different ones. And the second thing to take care of with Chinese names is that in Chinese often the family name comes first before the surname. So we tend to do it the other way around. We start with the first name. So if you transliterate, make sure that you take the actual surname and not the first name. Then my last remark, in this case it's Russian and we have Vladimir Putin. And as you can see, the transliteration differs from language to language. And in this case we always prioritize the English transliteration rules. But do take care of, for instance, if you look like the German spelling for Vladimir with a W, or the Polish one, and the rest is with a V, and also the spelling of the name Putin can be very different. So bear that in mind. Having said that, good time to close. And on that note, I would like to thank you for your much appreciated attention, and I feel secure that now you will produce a shit-hot bibliography in your country profile. Thank you for doing that, and I will depart with a heartfelt dooey dooey.